spends pacing alone around their massive waterfront home, she sees this as a threat for the first time. An imbalance that could cause the ship of their relationship to list dangerously, were they ever to drift into the eye of a true storm. Maria lifts the needle of the record player, takes the vinyl disc between her fingertips, and slides it carefully into its cardboard sleeve, where a young artist in a brown suede jacket and a black and white checked scarf looks directly into the camera, self-assured and surly. Bob Dylan's Blonde on Blonde. Maria returns the record to its place and picks a new one at random from the end of the alphabetically organised collection. A moment later, after a brief crackle, Stevie Wonder's honeyed, compassionate voice reverberates from the speakers. And then Maria sees it again, this time out of the corner of her eye. The yard light closest to the shore drifts off for a second and comes back on. It goes dark for only a fraction of a second, just as it did a moment before. Maria knows the lighting elements glowing inside the fixtures were replaced before Christmas. She remembers it well, because she is the one who paid the electrician's tastelessly inflated invoice. And for that reason, this trivial matter kindles an inordinate pique in her. Maria grabs her phone and taps out a message to Roger. She isn't sure why she feels the urge to trouble her husband with such a matter, especially since she knows he is on a stage, addressing his readers at this very moment. Perhaps the cause is a fleeting flurry of loneliness, mingled with a dash of uncertainty and unjustified jealousy. Maria watches her sent message for a moment, waiting for the little arrows at the bottom edge to turn blue. But they don't. Roger is not paying attention to his phone. At that moment, the record gets stuck. Wonder's voice sounds uncertain, thanks to the bit excised from the beautiful sentiment. Some of Roger's records are in such poor condition they aren't worth keeping. Doesn't anything in this goddamn house work? And then Maria feels a cold wave wash over her. Before she has time to make sense of what she has just realised, she looks out the sliding doors and sees something that doesn't belong there. For a moment, the contours line up with those of her reflection. But then the figure moves, transforming into a distinct entity of its own. Chapter 2. Roger Koponen sits himself in the chair upholstered in a coarse, perspiration-inducing fabric and squints. The spots hanging from the ceiling of the conference centre's main auditorium are shining right into the eyes of those on stage. For a moment, all he sees is blinding light. He forgets that before him and his two author colleagues sit 400 curious readers who have packed into this auditorium to listen to their favourite boozers' thoughts on their latest works. Roger understands that the event is important in terms of promoting his book. He understands why he would bother to drive 400 kilometres in heavy snow to spend the night at a serviceable dump slapped up on Savonlinna's main square, its mediocre fast food restaurant on the ground floor dolled up with tablecloths and table service. But what Roger doesn't understand is why the good people of Savonlinna would bother to show up on a night like this. Even though his books have sold millions of copies worldwide, he is never going to be an idol besieged by shrieking fans. Few people ever reflect that musicians and authors do very similar work. Same shit, different package. But only the former inspire middle-aged women to toss their panties on stage. But people still...